friends, it's Joan at 10 Pentacles Tarot, and I'm back with lesson 9 of my 10 lesson series, Tarot 101 for Beginners. So far, we've talked about what tarot is, choosing your first deck, the anatomy of a tarot deck, the major arcana, and each suit of the minor arcana. We've also talked about reversals and the good and bad cards. Now, in this lesson, we're going to talk about the best questions to ask, the most powerful questions to ask to give you the best answers you can get, and a little bit about spreads. So, the first thing I want to touch on is yes/no questions. If you get clients, they're always wanting to ask questions like, will my lover leave his wife? Will I win the lottery? Does my ex hate me? Is my ex-boyfriend ever coming back? When will I die? What is the name of my soulmate? Am I pregnant? Will my wife's cancer go into remission? Should I take this job? When will I get married? Now, those are all legitimate questions, but those are not necessarily questions that the tarot is made to answer, okay? First of all, most of those questions, many of them, are yes/no questions. Now, the trick about yes/no questions is that there is nothing on any of the cards that tells you yes or no. You can find some lists in some tarot books that will give you a list of which cards mean yes and which cards mean no. Generally, what people do is they'll go through and they'll say, okay, is this a pleasant or an unpleasant card? Well, let's see. 3 swords plunge through a heart. Okay, I'm going to say that's going to give you a no answer. All right. A little boy handing a little girl flowers. Maybe that's a yes question. So you are free to look up one of these lists or to make your own list of which cards that mean yes to you and which cards mean no to you. All right. Nothing wrong with that. If that's your system, that's fine. If you decide to do that, that's fine. Another way that people do it is they will mix up the cards and they'll say, if the card I pull is reversed, the answer is yes. If the card oh my goodness. If the card I pull is reversed, the answer is no. If the card I pull is upright, the answer is yes. All right. You can do that if you want to. And then some people will do best out of 3 or best out of 5. So if these are the cards I pulled, 2 are reversed, 1 is upright, then if you use this method, then you would say chances are very highly that your answer is no, but it's not completely no. There's a slight chance that the answer could be yes. Of course, if these were all reversed, then the answer would be definitely no. If they were all upright, they will be definitely yes. And if 1 was reversed, then you might say, well, chances are that the answer is yes, but there's a slight chance that the answer could be no. All right. So the big thing about this is to use your intuition and to decide on the way that you are going to do it. And if that is your way, then you know what, that is what you should stick with. All right. So another thing would be, of course, out of 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3 of these are reversed, but 2 are upright. So there's a little better than a slight chance your answer could be yes, but chances are the answer is no because of the reverse cards. All right, if you want to do that, that is totally up to you. If you want to get a yes/no deck, and this is Treasures from Above. It's a yes/no oracle by M.J. Cullinane. This is strictly for yes or no questions, and I've done a deck review on this if you want to look that up. I really like that deck. But let's get back to tarot. So these are a couple ways that you can decide if you want to answer yes or no questions. As far as the questions like, am I pregnant, Or is my wife's cancer going to go into remission? Guys, you have to realize that you are not a doctor. I mean, unless of course you are, but without doing the proper tests and everything, there's no way that the tarot can answer medical questions. And you really shouldn't go down that road, in my opinion, because you don't want to be involved in any lawsuits because you gave somebody bad medical advice and then something tragic happened, okay? So really stay far away from the medical advice and the legal advice. That's what I would suggest. All right, back to questions. What is my lover's name going to be? Let's see. Well, if I pull the Sun, gee, maybe his name's going to be Sunny. I don't know. Guys, the tarot isn't made to answer questions like that. What is my lover's name going to be? What is my husband's or my wife's name going to be? Now, I've known readers that would actually look at the cards and they would pull a card like this. Someone wants to know what their new lover is going to look like. From this, you could say, well, he's kind of a stocky fellow with dark hair, a little on the long side. He has a pleasant face and he looks happy most of the time. You can do that. If your intuition tells you that you should do that, by all means do it. But again, the tarot isn't really designed for answering these kind of questions. All right? So in many ways, the questions that you decide to answer through tarot are totally up to you and your intuition. Just don't get into the area of giving legal, financial, or any kind of medical advice, because that could really lead you into trouble. All right, so that's a lot about what kind of questions we probably shouldn't ask. But what questions are good to ask the tarot? What kind of questions can empower you? Or what kind of questions can empower your client? These would be questions like, how can I best handle this situation? Or what can I do in order to get the results that I want? All right. Let's see. What do I need to know about a certain situation? Okay. How can I improve my ability to do a certain thing? What do I need to change in order for my financial situation to improve? What is the potential for this relationship? What is the potential for this job that I'm in? What is standing in the way of what I want? And how can I best overcome it? What role do I play in so-and-so's life situation? What role do I play in this situation? Guys, there's so many questions that you can ask the tarot that are completely empowering, that the tarot is fully designed to answer, and that can help you to be proactive and not a victim, okay? Because with tarot reading, you can really empower your client. You can become empowered yourself. And I think that's super important, that you can get the suggestions. You can get the knowledge. You can get the power to help yourself or to help someone else through the tarot cards. The tarot cards give you the situation, or the ability to look into a situation from a different perspective. It can help you to see things and consider things you might not have considered before. So the tarot is good for so much more than yes, no questions. Now, let's talk about tarot spreads. So tarot spreads are the way that we lay out the cards when we are doing a reading or answering a question. So if your client says, you know what, I really want a career, just a career spread. Okay. So one of the main things. I want a career spread. I want a love. I want a romance spread. If they have a general subject matter, you can always do 3 card spreads. Past, present, and future. All right. So let's say this is a spread about their romantic life. So we're going to say, okay, so in the past, we had the Hanged Man. As you may know, the Hanged Man is all about enforced waiting. An enforced period of waiting. It can be about self-sacrifice. And it's reversed. So in the past, you may have had difficulty waiting. You may have had difficulty being patient. You may have had difficulty looking at things from a different perspective. Okay, so that may have been an issue in your past, okay, that you've had trouble waiting. You've had a difficulty waiting. You have not been happy waiting for your romantic partner to come along. And so you felt like all you were doing was waiting, and it hasn't been pleasant. Now, it's come to the point in the present where you are completely obsessed with this. You are worried about it. You are suffering anxiety about it. You're wondering, are you ever going to find anybody? Now it's not just a matter of you don't want to wait anymore. Now it's a matter of you are full-blown worried about whether or not you are going to ever find the person of your dreams. Okay? But let me tell you what, in the future, my friend, you will be celebrating. In the future, this is a card of celebration, and you are going to be happy. You're going to be spending time with friends, and you are going to be celebrating. So I would say that, hang in there. Try not to worry. Generally, this worry is unfounded. The anxiety is unnecessary. You're doing yourself harm by feeling this way. What you need to do is relax, have fun, go out and have fun, and don't worry about it. And before long, you will be celebrating an emotional victory, either romantic, or you will just be having so much fun you won't even be caring about it anymore. All right? So that's an example of a 3-card spread, past, present, future. Now, there are a ton of 3-card spreads that you can get, and you can go online to find the best tarot spreads. For example, where to find the best tarot spreads. Here are some examples, and this came from Biddy Tarot, Biddy. There's tarotforum.net, biddytarot.com. These are places to find good spreads. Psychic Revelation Tarot spreads. Here's an address. I can include these in in the description box. Pinterest even has lots of great tarot spreads. And then here's a list of books with great tarot spreads. So I can include some of those. There's also the famous Celtic Cross Tarot spread. Now, this is not one that I would recommend for beginners. It's very in-depth. I mean, you could try it, sure. Don't even worry about it. But don't feel like you have to master the Celtic Cross in order to be a tarot reader. There are so many 3-card spreads that I have found to be so well. And maybe in a future lesson we will cover the Celtic Cross spread. But just to show you some 3-card spreads that I've used that are really good, there are easy 3-card spreads. Beside past, present, and future, you could do the nature of your problem, the cause of the problem, the solution to the problem. Okay, that's a 3-card spread. Or your current situation, your obstacle, the advice that the tarot can give you. Or how about situation, your situation. This card describes your situation. This card describes the obstacle. Or the action you should take, Situation, action, your likely outcome, okay? Another 3-card spread. This card might describe the context of the situation. This card might tell you where you need to focus. And this card might give you the likely outcome. Okay. Then there's 3-card spreads for the future. For example, where you stand now, what you aspire to, how to get there. Okay. There's just so many 3-card spreads. And I recommend that you start with 3-card spreads because they are practical, they're easy, and they can give you a lot of good information. Even a 1-card draw can help a lot. Even 1 card can tell you so much. For example, Temperance reversed. Okay, what does this card say? Well, the meaning of Temperance upright is all about balance, peace, and calm. When it's reversed, it's likely that something is disturbing the balance in your life. Something is disrupting your peace and your calm. Okay, this energy, the calm, peace, and balance in your life is being hampered in some way. So you might pull that, you might find out that, and then you say, well, what can I do? What can I do to help this situation? Okay, the 10 of Wands reversed. The 10 of Wands is about carrying a heavy burden. Okay, reversed. Maybe it's time to lay that burden down for a while, okay? Lay that burden down. It's disturbing your equanimity. It's disturbing your peace and calm. Just put it down for a while. Relax. Take some time out to relax, okay? So you can have impromptu 1-card spreads, 2-card spreads, lots and lots of 3-card spreads. As a beginning tarot reader, I definitely recommend 3-card spreads for you. And then you can get to the Celtic cross. There are lots of places. So in the description box, I will include some of the addresses where you can find good tarot spreads. You can just Google tarot spreads. You can Google 3-card tarot spreads and see what you get. So, like I said, I would start with the smaller spreads. I would maybe save the Celtic cross for later. I very rarely do a Celtic cross spread. Just because, I just don't care for it that much. It's just not, I feel like you can use a simpler spread and get a lot more information out of it. Maybe not a lot more information, but you can get a lot of good information out of a smaller spread. So that is lesson 9. I hope that helped you in knowing what kind of questions to ask and some simple spreads to start out with to use. Like I said, don't feel like you can't do the Celtic cross spread, but on the other hand, don't feel like you have to in order to be a real tarot reader, because honestly, it is not necessary at all. So, I hope this lesson helped you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. If you haven't checked out the other lessons in this 10-lesson series of Tarot for Beginners, please be sure to check those out as well. I've also got a lot of other videos, a lot of deck reviews of tarot decks and oracle deck reviews you might enjoy, and then some others on different kinds of divination tools and how to use them. So, I thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you more than you'll know. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is where you are. And I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.